Let's talk about Candace Owens. Oh my god. This story today is all about the interview that Candace Owens did with Piers Morgan recently. And it seems like Candace Owens is regretting supporting MAGA in a way, or supporting Donald Trump in a way. Like, she has not come out fully saying that she is leaving that side of MAGA and moving to Democrats. But we all know that there are some issues that she feels like she does not agree with what the Donald Trump administration is doing. And so today we're going to listen to what Candace Owens is saying, and we want to get to understand how she feels about the Trump administration right now, and if she feels like she regrets supporting the Trump administration or MAGA.
So y'all, after all these years of going on Fox News, right-wing podcasts, and all of that, Candace Owens now says she's embarrassed that she voted for Trump. Bitch, we've been embarrassed of you for a long time. So we understand the feeling of embarrassment, because we've been embarrassed by you for years. You've been over here propping up these folks, using your voice to put down and talk about people who look like us to other people. And now you want to be embarrassed? You wasn't embarrassed when he did all the stuff he did the first time? You wasn't embarrassed then? Girl, if you don't get somewhere and sit your ass down somewhere and shut the hell up. 'Cause don't nobody care that you embarrassed. Don't nobody care. 'Cause we don't like you no way. So go back over there to them people that you was riding with. You know what I'm saying? Go over there with them. Maybe they'll care that you're embarrassed. 'Cause I know the hell we don't. I want to say something, but girl, bye.
Candace Owens, you have every right to your point of view and your perspective about what you think about President Trump. But guess what? I have my right to have my point of view and my perspective. My point of view and perspective is I stand with Donald Trump and I stand with Israel. You have a serious issue with Israel. So now you're fighting against God, because guess what? Israel is God's people. So now you want us, MAGA, Republicans, conservatives, to flip and turn against Donald Trump because you are irate and angry against him and you have a serious issue with Israel. That's your fault, not ours. So you can articulate, you can do whatever you want on your platform to try to get us to turn. But we ain't going nowhere. So deal with it.
I don't have that confidence anymore. And I'm comfortable with people being dishonorably discharged because the dishonor has come from our politicians. The dishonor has come from our politicians who routinely lie in our faces and are willing to let us die to serve their financial interests. So why don't they dishonorably discharge themselves from public office? That works for me.
Candace Owens, just hearing you talk reminded me of chanclas, of flip-flops. Just taka, one way this, one way that. And it just flips and it flops and it flips and it flops. And sometimes in the Hispanic community can be used for disciplinary action. So today you remind me of the chancla. So I'm going to want to try to be like, wapa, truth here in my channel. So starting with the first chancla, the first lie that I heard that needs some kind of action from me to you is you're trying to say as if it's certain that Donald Trump is going to take us into this Iran war conflict as if it's already true. So, bam, that's incorrect. God willing, let's hope that everything comes out okay from the White House and that we get good news of peace. So let's pray for that first before you are over here running your mouth talking about lies. Second, you're saying that there have been political people and that you would be okay if they resigned. Of course it would be okay. I know what you want. You want Donald Trump to be impeached. And that's not going to happen because impeachment should not be done simply because your whims are not met. Democrats. So there's a lot of Democrats that have wanted to impeach Donald Trump for everything, for breathing. They've tried it twice. And Candace, you sound like you would be happy. You said, I would be okay with that if they resigned. In your dreams, Candace Owens, is the leader of the MAGA movement, our president, ever going to resign for the likes of you and all the other phonies that hate our country? So no, you can wish all you want, but Donald Trump, he's hanging in there. He's our president. And even though you sound like you want him off, not going to happen. And I know that you're trying to make it sound like MAGA should go against our leader. That's another chancla. Bam! That's fake. I don't ever want to see another title on you, Candace Owens, saying that MAGA is fractured, MAGA has lost its ways, that MAGA is angry at Donald Trump. We love him. Matter of fact, we love him every single day, and we trust in him to make the correct decisions, just like he did his first presidency, just like he did for the last 10 years, that he has been under fire from the deep state, from all kinds of people that want to destroy our country, and he has remained true to the truth, true to this country. So for you to be assuming and telling that your public that he, our president, the MAGA leader himself, is somehow have fallen and we don't love him anymore, chancla for that too. Another lie. We love him. Just watch. All MAGA movement loves our president and trusts him. But the only one that we don't trust is you, Canditas Onditas. Candace Owens, ya no te confiamos. We don't trust you. So there, that should be your title. MAGA no longer trusts anything that comes out of Candace Owens' mouth. Then that would be factual. Trust me. We all agree on that. Instead of your title saying that we're fractured and that we're, going against Donald Trump and that he betrayed us. So change the title on one of your videos to Republican Latina on behalf of MAGA gives the chancla to me for lying about the MAGA movement, about president, and for the Iran war. Boom, done. That would be a very good journalist of you if you actually put the truth. Okay? So on the behalf of the MAGA movement, we love our president. We are praying for times like this because he was born and to lead us for times like this. He has what it takes to stand up for our country, for America first, and to guide us, even if it is about a topic in a war situation as critical as this.
So let's circle back. Candace Owens, before the election, was supporting MAGA or supporting Donald Trump. She influenced her supporters to vote for Donald Trump, yes? They vote for Donald Trump. He wins. Donald Trump takes office the first 100 days. Candace Owens is alright with it. The next 100 days, obviously he's not completed the next 100 days, but yeah, you get it. Like after the 100 days, there comes the issue of Israel-Iran conflict. And Donald Trump has to act up. And what does Candace Owens do? She comes out, speaks against what Donald Trump is doing right now and involving US in the Israeli conflict, of which in some way, most of you have come out to speak against that because definitely it's taking the US resources in a war that does not involve them. Candace Owens takes that opportunity to come and share her opinion about the matter, of which we acknowledge that anyone's opinion should be listened to. If you don't agree with it, that's alright. If you agree with it, that's alright. That's how we live in a civilized society. But the moment Candace Owens comes about and articulates her opinion, she does it in a way that provokes both sides. And she finds herself in a difficult spot, especially now that no side wants to pick her. Liberals, who most of the black people are in, are not taking her BS because at first it's like she campaigned for a candidate that the liberals were not in favor of. They feel like she went against the community. Well, the other side of the Republicans feel like she has betrayed their trust, she has betrayed their following. Like, of course, most of Candace Owens' followers are MAGA fanatics, and it seems like she has triggered them so much because of saying the word embarrassed of the president's decision to engage himself in the Iran and Israel conflict. So when people in the Republic of MAGA side feel like she has said that so soon because it's not realistically proven that US has joined the war 100%. Others feel like she just wants Donald Trump to be impeached. There's just a whole lot of things in the internet. I don't know how Candace Owens is gonna pull out of this. But hey, before we even get deep into that, let's take a listen to more of netizens' opinions.
I'm not interested in talking about Candace Owens because we obviously know she is a complete sellout. But what I find absolutely funny is that this woman claims she convinced millions of Americans to go vote for President Trump, as if we didn't vote for him in the second election and we weren't going to vote for him in the third one. Like, excuse you? But let's watch her video.
Or could you see a way that you would end up perhaps voting for him? Oh, he can't run again, obviously, but would you support him publicly again?
So I want to be clear. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump above Kamala. I think he was the better candidate, certainly a better candidate above Joe Biden. But what I will say is that he's been a chronic disappointment. And I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen and it is happening. But I
What a delusional sense of self-importance. Might I add, he is the president of the United States. You act like circumstances of the world does not change. I'm sorry, this man acted on the fact that he has to protect the American people and their assets. Exactly what has happened. Now, if you think the circumstances of the world doesn't change and life doesn't evolve, you are wrong. And if you have a clear sense of self-entitlement that you are important, this important, you are absolutely delusional. And that is what Candace Owens is.
Candace Owens is offering 10 grand if anybody can provide any proof that there's like some type of script going around or something to influence her, for them basically to trash talk her. Now, I'm not an influencer, but I know a lot of them. And I can read myself, believe it or not. So I've been reading the stuff that she's posting. And the fact that she thinks that there's like some script going around to make everybody go against her, and she's not realizing that her posts kind of contradict each other. Like, it's this back and forth flip-flop, like, what? Who are you? Like, I love Candace. I wanted her to be like the first female president. I was all for it. And now I'm like, did they get to you? They had to have gotten to her. This makes no freaking sense. And then I saw on Pierce where she was like, she'd rather her like kids go to prison than, you know, be in our military and fight in Israel, which, I mean, I get it. Nobody wants their children to, you know, unalive in foreign wars. However, MAGA is extremely appreciative of our veterans and support our military. Like, we're all about that. So that probably wasn't the best thing to say for some people. The Harvey Weinstein thing probably didn't help either. I know a dude in a white van with a sign on the side of it when I see one, and he's one of them. There's no candy in that van. It's weird because I freaking love the Hodge twins too, and they're going back and forth right now. I don't know what the hell's happening. Like, I don't think they need to be worried about scripts that are being passed around to people like us. I'm wondering what scripts are being passed around to people like them. Just saying, because they're the bigger influencers. They actually make a ton of money off of their content. I don't see them roughing it doing TikTok affiliate ads. I just don't know how you can do a complete just turnaround like that and then just, I don't know what the hell's happening. But it's not going to divide anything. I mean, we're known for just being free thinkers. Like, legit, nobody tells us what to think. I guess we'll see how it pans out. I'm going to go for a swim. Hopefully I make it. There have been some crazy lightning strikes coming out of nowhere here in South Carolina, so pray for me.
Candace Owens has officially lost her mind. I just woke up opening this app to see that Candace Owens has now switched sides. Candace Owens has literally been the face of Christianity, of conservative, of Republican. She has supported Trump since as far as back as I can remember. I have supported this woman. She is almost, I would say, she is one of the biggest reasons that I support Trump today. Candace Owens, what is going on? What is going on? How much are you being paid to flip? I just watched a video where she is talking about our military, and saying pretty much, telling our military to get dishonorably discharged. She said she would rather see her 3 sons in jail. Oh. If you guys have, go watch Candace Owens' latest videos. I am telling you, she has lost it.
I hope that every conservative content creator on this app who appear to have accepted some form of money and a script to specifically slander Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens feel really good about themselves. I also hope that they know that their tropes are not working, that a lot of us can see through this, because I come from the land of, if you don't necessarily agree with what someone is saying or, whatever it may be, you can comment on their opinions and say, I disagree with this, I disagree with that. But we've gone way past that. We've gone to the point of just completely libeling and slandering people who have quite literally done nothing to us but provide us their opinion and their take on things. To assert that Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens are raging anti-Semitic individuals is wild. This was very revealing in the Ted Cruz Tucker Carlson podcast when Tucker Carlson's like, I didn't bring Jewish people into the conversation. You did, Ted. I'm talking about the foreign state of Israel. Why is it when we talk about the foreign state of Israel, it's automatically, oh, you clearly don't like Jewish people? That's a wild accusation to make. It's also completely unfounded and stupid. And it's just baseless at that point. Another talking point I see a lot is Tucker and Candace missed their opportunity or their moment, or they weren't picked to be in Trump's cabinet, therefore they're bitter about it. What is that talking point even about? Did Tucker or Candace ever talk about being in Trump's cabinet? Because I don't remember that. Do tell me if I'm wrong. I don't remember that ever being the case. Tucker's been very adamant about never wanting to run for public office or be in public office, so I just don't know where that's coming from. And Candace has clearly been too busy having children, so I'm just like, what are you guys talking about? And then there's the one that I see a lot, clearly bought and paid for by Qatar, clearly bought and paid for by Iran. Zero evidence. People like Laura Loomer can go on the news and scream whatever she wants into the void, but she has no evidence of this, despite claiming she does. What there is evidence of, though, and what Candace is probably going to find evidence of, is that people on this app and otherwise conservative pundits are being paid by some entity to slander these two individuals all over the interweb. I've seen some conservative content creators on here make it almost their full-time career to slander Tucker and Candace. Like they're sucking on the teat of just their hate fire is so strong. And I don't know if that's monetarily motivated or their hatred for someone who has an opinion that differs from the quote base of MAGA is that strong that they have to make it a full-time career. I find that bizarre. I'm not obsessed with anyone's opinion that strongly to launch an entire hate campaign against them on TikTok. I find it to be very weird and obsessive, but that's here nor there. You do you, boo. I don't care. Okay? I'm not getting paid by anyone to do anything. Trust me. I ain't get paid for shit. But I also personally would not want to accept money to slander someone on the internet, even if I didn't like them. That just is not my gig. I would never do that. But that's just me. I operate different than most people. So anyway, I say all that to say this. You guys can keep slandering. You guys can keep doing this and playing this political game as much as you want, but it's not working. Candace and Tucker still have very strong followings, and those of us who actually listen to their content, despite whether or not we don't always agree with everything they say, but I genuinely feel in my spirit and my soul that they are genuine individuals, and they're the first to say we don't always get it right, but we are on the pursuit of truth. And I can respect that more than I can respect 99% of other journalists and conservative pundits on this app, on radio, on Fox News, or wherever, because most people never go back and correct the record. Never. They will never admit when they're wrong. They will never admit when they had the bad take. They will never admit when they acted out of a lack of integrity. And I feel like Tucker and Candace 100% are sincere people. I truly do believe that. So, again, if you're one of these conservative content creators that are accepting money to talk shit about people on the internet that you don't like or don't agree with, I hope that you get exactly what you're putting out into the world. Because I truly believe that what you put out into the world comes back to you in some form or another.
Why are people asking me if I took money to talk negatively about Candace Owens? I woke up this morning to these messages asking me if I had been paid by somebody to share my negative feelings about Candace Owens. And I'm like, where the F is this coming from? So I go and I search on the app. Apparently, she's paying 10 grand to find out what person or agency is trying to get influencers to like slander her on the internet, as though we're not allowed to have our own opinions about her behavior, as though we don't have our own minds and we don't have our own feelings that we can express. We have to be paid for those opinions. Candace, are you really honestly saying that people are not smart enough out here in the real world, us little lowly influencers, to have our own opinions on the matter? First off, if you're new here, hi, I'm Claire Patriot and I have integrity. Have never, nor will I ever take money to speak about anybody. What kind of Delulu land are you living in? You not look at your own actions from the last several months and realize that people probably have strong opinions about the things you're saying? Do you honestly believe that we should all just jump on anything you say and agree with you at all times? And if we're not agreeing with you, that must mean that we're taking money? Luckily, the people that have messaged me about it, I don't know them personally. So maybe we'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're just randos that saw my video. I would hope anybody that knows me personally that I talk to on this app would know better than that. Candace, if you're listening to this, nobody paid me a penny to have my negative opinions about the things you've been saying and doing all over the internet. I had all those big girl thoughts all on my own. I can't even believe I had to say that. This is just for entertainment.
Moral of the story, don't just listen to anyone because you do think that they are right. No one is right in this world. It can be Candace Owens, it can be Donald Trump, it can be Joe Biden, it can be Kamala Harris, it can be you, it can be your father, it can be your mother, it can be your sibling, it can be your uncle, it can be anyone. Like, don't just listen and believe everything. Like, you have the ability to reason. Just listen and see things that you can filter out, that you feel like this is a lie. Even the most trusted fella, listen carefully, read in between the lines, think. Don't just be gullible and follow everything that an influencer says, that a politician says, that I don't know who says. Like, you have the ability to reason logically. So that's just what I'm trying to say here. Like, what you've had here and what you've heard from Candace Owens, just filter it out. For me, I really do think that, yeah, she has an opinion and she articulates her opinion in a way that she feels like people owe her ears. People should listen to her, and just because they follow her, should follow her, because whatever she speaks, whatever her mouth, spews, is the truth. The same way she feels like she is not obligated to listen to all what Trump says and think that what Trump says are true. You get what I'm saying? The way she feels like there are some things that Trump says that does not go in line with what she voted him for. It's also the same way that her followers think about some of the opinions that Candace Owens is having. And the same way, we listen to some of the people here, some of the points that are articulated that might be true, others might be just beyond. Like, we have the ability of just filtering. That's what I'm saying for today. Let's go back to Candace Owens. I feel like Candace Owens, because of the limelight, she feels like she somehow wants to be treated in a special way, which she denies she wants to. But we all know, if you can read between the lines, she craves for that treatment where she wants to be heard and seen that she is advocating for something, of which is pretty much common among many influencers right now. Let me try to think in Candace Owens' lines. Like, Trump engaging in the Israel-Iran conflict, it might be good, it might not be good. Like, upon calling for ceasefire the previous days, I don't think I've had Iran attacking again Israel, and I think that is a major step, just because Donald Trump involved himself in this war, and the meeting with the NATO and things like that. The ally thing, it might be against what you believe in, but also generally it might be helpful in a way. It's just like how people have different moral opinions about what happened in Japan, which was actually very, very, very wrong. But again, it also resulted to World War II ending. Yeah, so sometimes there are some things that world leaders engage themselves in that are very morally wrong, but end up, I think, sometimes being helpful in a way. I'm not supporting that, but somehow, if she was in that presidential position, what would she have done? Or if you were in there, what would you have done different in order to approach this whole issue? Your ally is facing an enemy in a war that you do think that if you involve yourself in, the war would end. What would you do? But anyways, whatever Candace Owens is saying, some of it is true, because I've read somewhere, and I'm just gonna read that Candace Owens' break from Trump is already reshaping the conservative landscape, and it could have real consequences for his re-election bid. I didn't think Trump was running for the third time. I know he has said that, but I didn't think that it was that serious. Does the Constitution support that? I don't know. I don't understand that. Polls show that Trump's approval rating has taken a hit, with Gallup reporting a net approval of negative 17 points and America Research Group showing it dips to negative 21 points. While that can't be pinned solely on Owens, her defection adds fuel to a broader narrative that Trump is losing key voices from within his own movement. Other conservative influencers like Tucker Carlson, Steve Bannon, and Marjorie Taylor Greene have echoed Owens' concerns, especially over Trump's foreign policy shift towards interventionism. And this growing chorus of dissent is fracturing the once united MAGA base, with some calling for a return to America First non-interventionism and others doubling down on Trump's leadership. Yes, that's about it. That I agree with. The America First thing, I agree with very much, because I really do feel like when it comes to supporting other nations like Israel, I feel like a lot of resources is going in there than what is supporting the American people right now. Like, for instance, these things about Medicaid, about taking care of veterans, about housing, about jobs, there's not a lot being done on that sector. But when it comes to war, we all know how the US is investing so much in war aircrafts, war technology, so many things in there, but supporting what directly helps the United States citizen, that is where they draw the line, and I support these influencers on that. America First. So I'm not definitely calling out Candace Owens, and I'm not definitely also supporting her. I'm just there, like, balance 50-50. There's some things that she said that is true. There are some things that she has said that is wrong. But MAGA supporters, most of them, furious about that. And so I just felt the need to bring that. I don't know, guys, what do you think about this whole subject? Let me know in the comment section down there below. Share your thoughts and your opinions. I'll be waiting. Also, don't forget to go and check the original creators. Go onto their TikToks, follow, like, and for this channel, make sure you smash a huge thumbs up for this video. Consider subscribing to the channel, turn on post notifications so that you may not miss my videos. And with that, let me meet you in the next one. Peace out.